All right. I am here with Rebecca. She is all of what is the queen of the Babs, which is the group, the Badass Bodyworkers on Facebook that I am a part of. And I've known Rebecca since I joined that group and was completely impressed with what a social media rock star she is. And Rebecca, if you could, you've got a little bit of a different kind of massage lifestyle than the rest of us do. You're a little more of a traveling massage therapist, if I'm correct. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about you, honey.
Sure. Well, I'll get into the juicy stuff first because that's what people are here for, right? So I had a brick and mortar business in South Louisiana for 12 years, and I've been doing massage for 13. And it came to its natural ending after COVID. I decided not to renew a commercial lease for another decade and decided just to downsize. And I bought a school bus in hopes of turning it to a little spa mobile. So that's my little passion project that I'm doing now. And while that's being worked on, I'm just traveling all over the US, helping out my friends and in their facilities, giving them a little bit of help and kind of playing like fairy godmother of the massage world, so to speak. And I just got licensed in Texas and I'm licensed in Louisiana. And I'm waiting 2 more years for that compact license to come out. But it's been really awesome to be able to travel and utilize like body work and see all of my colleagues and friends and learn from them and give them a little bit of help and make a little bit of money. And it's been a wonderful way, like using the community of Badass Body Workers. It's been such an incredible way of really curating my dream lifestyle, which I'm still in the process of because half the time I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just figuring it out along the way. But that's where all the
Where
fun
we all
stories,
at?
right? That's where all the fun stories come from, you know?
Yeah, good. Yeah, we're all just trying to figure out this big, crazy world. I mean, the last couple of years have really turned us on our butts, and we've tried to figure out how to navigate through a global pandemic. I mean, we've all kind of taken a big hit on, how what are we going to be when we grow up? you know, how are we going to adult in this scary world? But massage is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I think your passion and love for helping people, as well as our listeners, the massage therapists that do this every day, it's just a beautiful thing to be a part of.
It really is. And I also noticed after COVID, so many of us are wanting to shift into different types of businesses or add like more spiritual practices to our businesses, like sound bowl therapy and Reiki and basically hands off. And that's been really awesome seeing the more holistic side of things come out and people are actually starting to do really more what their soul is calling them to do because there's been this huge paradigm shift after COVID. And we're also in a really awkward stage of the industry right now where we have like basically a 2 year gap from pretty much half or three quarters of the industry quitting overnight. And then who the hell is going to go to massage school during a pandemic when we can't be 6 feet from each other? So we have this huge supply and demand problem right now. And there's so many clients who are now starting to prioritize their health and wellness since COVID happened because, oh my gosh, now they realize what's actually important besides going to a job that you hate, being stressed out all the time. But there's almost not enough of us to go around at the moment, or at least it's really hard for those clients to find some of us. And it's been really awesome seeing the new crop of people come into this industry and really just curate it for exactly what they need it to. And they're not getting caught up in this rat race that a lot of us do. I actually, before we hopped on this call, I posted on Facebook, your client is not your electricity bill laying on your table. They are not just a 2:30 appointment. They're a real person with real problems. So why are we all operating on autopilot and on scarcity? And we're in survival mode right now. Our clients don't deserve that. They deserve all of us. They deserve wholeness. They don't deserve bits and pieces. So yeah, we're kind of in this energy shift right now. And it's interesting seeing where that's going and seeing how everybody's navigating that.
Yes, I totally agree. I mean, every day I wake up and I say to myself, this is going to be a really good day because this is your massage day, right? And somebody on my table has been looking forward to this day today. So I have to set my intention for the day, knowing that I'm going to give my clients my best work today and every day. And that's hard to do. I mean, we all, we just talked about this today, hanging out by the pool on a Sunday afternoon. It's beautiful weather outside, but you and I have worked our fingers to the bones this week. And we need some time to just reflect and do some self-care and listen to actually take our own advice, what we tell our own clients to do. Listen to your body, and it will tell you what we need to do, right?
Yes. Julie, have you ever heard this quote? And I'm probably butchering it, but it goes along the lines of humanity's problems all stem from a man's inability to sit quietly in a room by himself. And it's so true. And right now, for a little bit of backstory for the listeners, I'm currently in the Dallas suburbs helping a very, very dear friend of mine out who's also a mother figure at the same time. And she has a pretty unique story because her and her staff are deaf. So their perspective when it comes to body work and massage therapy is so incredibly different. And her unique perspective is really helping me to learn a lot of patience and to hold space better for people. And she told me the other day, she said, Rebecca, you people, meaning us hearing people, and I'm so grateful. I'm so, so grateful to have the privilege to be able to have the hearing that I do, even though I don't listen sometimes, But she said, you people have such a problem with noise clutter all the time. It's either traffic or it's a podcast or it's music. You always have to fill your time with noise. Where's the silence? After a long day at work, it's mentally exhausting for me to have to read lips and to figure out people. And I can't handle a lot of overstimulation because I have to focus. And the fact that I am so distracted and unfocused all the time, might be the reason why I'm feeling stuck in some areas of my life. But what she told me is so true, right? Like we're just so inundated with noise clutter all the time. And whenever we can create a space for our clients to just have that time away from all their stresses in their life, causing them to be in fight or flight, we get that privilege to do that for them. And that's incredible, right? Isn't it amazing?
It is amazing. It's so, so awesome to be able to be in this business. And I think you're right. There is a really great opportunity right now for maybe the massage business owner that doesn't necessarily know how to do marketing very well. People are out there wanting massage. Just give your marketing a try, right? Even if you're not sure exactly what to do, send out that email, post that social media post. Don't be afraid because the world needs healing and they're looking for you. So make yourself available to them, right? And, kids are going back to school. It's August 28th right now. There's a lot of video around that.
And it's the slow season for us now, but it's the perfect time for us to really reevaluate a lot of things and to cut things out that are not moving the needle for us to figure out, like, where the hell do I go from here? Because it's unrealistic for anybody, especially a business owner, to think that it's always going to be on the upswing. We have so many ebbs and flows, it's the yin and yang. Like, we can't expect for it to always just be fruitful and fast and books filled all the time, because we need that time to just stop and rest. Bears do it. Look at Mother Nature. Mother Nature tells us like the natural cycles that we need to be in. And I've actually started embracing that lately, like working with the seasons that way. Even though here in Texas where we are, there's 2 seasons. There's summer and then there's 2 weeks of snowmageddon. And then the rest is like just above 90 degrees the whole time. But still, like, we have a slow season in the industry, and that's such a good time to just sit back and reevaluate and get the gears turning a little bit, and just to not focus so much on go, 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 go. We need to slow down. We have to, because we preach to our clients all the time, like, you can't give from an empty cup, and you can't take care of anyone else before you take care of yourself. And we need to do that for ourselves. I don't want to go to a massage therapist who's burnt out and who gives me a massage that's feels like being rubbed on by a piece of cardboard. Like, no, that's, I don't want to waste my time. In fact, Julie, I actually tell my client that time is one of the things I value most in this world, and I value their time. And they're going to get the absolute best service they can from me in the time that we have together. And it automatically reassures them that I value them and I value their time and I'm not going to waste it. So they already have fell in love with the massage 30 seconds in before I even have really started it, because they've already let their guard down, because they know that they don't have to micromanage in their heads. They don't have to be worried that, oh, is this going to be another, mediocre half-ass massage? Like, I hope not. And it's nice to be able to have that communication with clients and be open about that as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's some great nuggets of information there for our listeners that they can glean from that. Rebecca, remind me how long you've been a massage therapist?
Ever since high school, actually, I graduated high school in 2008, and literally 2 months later, I went to school for it, not knowing what the hell it was. I told you this story the other day, but I literally was picking up a friend from work, and her work was in the same building as a massage school. And I saw a sign that said massage is $20. I'm like, I got $20, you know? And I go upstairs and they said, oh, this is a school. Do you want to see the curriculum? And I'm like, sure, I'll take a stab at it. And I looked at it and I'm like, holy shit, I think I could do this. Like, how long is this program? And they said 9 months. And I'm like, okay, I'd rather do that than get pregnant right now. So I can handle 9 months of my life doing this. And I had never even received a massage. I had barely even heard of one before. And I was a little wee baby. I graduated like at 17 from high school. And I went to massage school like almost right away, and they let me in a bit early. And I almost dropped out a couple times, Julie. It was really, really difficult. And kudos to everyone who has had to take a bunch of courses again and make up their hours, because it's not easy. It's not. And I almost dropped out so many times. And luckily, a teacher of mine told me, she encouraged me to stay. And she said, you have too much intuition and potential to quit. Please don't quit. Like, most of our students have already dropped out. Like, you can do this. Because I think we had 14 people in our class and only 3 of us graduated. And I think I'm the only one who's actively licensed. And that was back in 2008. So like 13 years ago. I don't know. I can't do the math. I'm not a bad person. I'm a massage person. So yeah, I've been doing it for quite a bit, but I still feel like I'm a baby in the industry, because I learned so much from people who've been doing this for 40 years, people who've been doing this for 3 months. It's truly the best career ever, right? Because we can never stop learning.
Yeah, it's absolutely what you make of it. I mean, this is a profession that you can come into it and it's literally a piece of clay that you form yourself. And you might not know what that piece of clay is going to turn into in the end. I mean, I still don't know what mine will look like in the end. And I'm 15 years into it. And, but every day that piece of clay looks a little more clear, right? And I have all these tools in my toolbox that I use now with cups and hot stones. And, it's just, like you said, there's just an endless amount of things to learn. I mean, just think about how we are in the medical industry in general, what we know about the human body. And it's very little, really, if you think about it. We actually run around in these bag of bones. And how much do we really know about the way our brain works? It's kind of scary to think about. And COVID really brought that to our attention, which was kind of a good thing and kind of a bad thing. But every day we're learning things about the body, and every day we do a massage, we learn more about it. And it's an incredible experience to help a client get in touch with their body better too, and have more of that mind-body connection. And I find that to be a really beautiful part of our job.
Yes. I actually have a little trick that I tell clients who are new to massage. And I said, this is going to be a very different experience for you. You're not going to be used to just being still for this long. And it might be a little bit of overstimulation on your mind. If you're overstimulated, you're not going to be able to get out of fight or flight and relax. So what I want you to do is play the alphabet game. I literally want you to go through in your minds and name things that calm you down or that relax you or make you happy. And by the time they're, on letter Z, they're already halfway snoring. And it's just such a cool, simple trick that I do for new clients who are a little bit trepidatious or anxious or just unaware of how massage therapy can feel for them. And it really puts them into like a safe space, and it gets their mind to stop thinking about work and everything stressing them out. Like if they're going to think, they might as well think about something that's going to click that fight or flight mode off and get them into a relaxation state,
I'm going to try this trick to help you go to bed tonight. I mean, I've not heard this trick, so thank you for sharing that. That's going to help me get to sleep tonight, I think.
Hopefully. And I know, like with me, I have an extremely overactive ADHD, high functioning anxiety mind, and my mind does not turn off. And it's so difficult to just, like my friend was telling me earlier, just to enjoy the silence, just to sit in the quiet for a little bit. And it's really helped me a lot, doing that. And it's such a simple trick, I love it.
I love it. Is there anything that you'd like to share with the listeners that you've learned over your experience and years working in the massage room that's a good nugget or takeaway?
Oh God, that's like a whole book that I'm trying to work on. But the short answer is I share all of that on Facebook and Badass Bodyworkers, but I actually have a really amazing download that I just made, Julie, of 33 best business hacks for body workers. And those are some really, really hard hitting, actionable, quick wins. And those are really, really awesome to help people get the needle moving forward. But as far as a big lesson that I've learned, it's a really simple statement a friend of mine told me one time after I hired the wrong person to manage my business. And I basically put too much power in somebody else's authority because I was burnt out and stressed out and burning the candle at both ends. And my client told me, Rebecca, and it's a friend of mine who's also a client. He said, Rebecca, your mistake was hiring somebody to create the process instead of follow the process. And when he told me that, I'm like, holy shit, it's been a free for all. It's been a free for all. And no wonder why I'm, running around in a hamster wheel is because I expected other people to solve those problems for me because I didn't feel like I had the expertise or power or authority to make my own decisions. So whenever you put decisions into other people's hands and let them decide for you, I'm not saying don't get advice from people. Definitely do. Only from people that you strive to be like. By the way, don't take advice from people you wouldn't want to switch shoes with. That really hit me hard whenever he told me that. And I learned a very, very expensive lesson, and I had to overhaul my entire business. And that's around the same time when COVID happened to hit. And then I decided to rebrand my business as well. So it was this whole sort of stuff happening all at once. And that was a really big lesson learned is I need to step into my own power and stop giving so much of it away to other people in all aspects, work, career, like everything.
Nice. Well, thank you for that advice. I think that's a beautiful takeaway. And hopefully from what you've learned the hard way, somebody else can learn the easy way. That's what we're here for, is to help others move forward in this big, crazy world.
I always say I fucked so many times, so you don't have to. Like, I'm sure you know about saboteur archetypes and stuff. Mine is the martyrer. Oh my God. I love taking the blame. I love taking responsibility for other people, people pleasing. And I told my friend the other day, in a past life, I really believe that I was one of those people on the crusades or whatever, not crusades, the pilgrimages that would literally flog themselves. They would literally punish themselves to repent for everyone else. And I feel like that was me in a past life.
We're just learning from our mistakes.
Life is a journey. Life is a journey.
It's true. So we're going to add the link to your top things that you've learned in the comment section. We can do that, right?
Yeah. And there There's no email opt-in, nothing. It's just a good old link to a Google document that you can make a copy of. And it's some of the best tips that I've learned throughout the 13 years of doing this wild, crazy roller coaster ride of a career that I call my life. And some pretty hard hitters that are going to get some really quick, actionable wins for people. And people are always, earlier at the beginning, Julie, you said with marketing, people are always like, well, I've tried this, I've tried that. And my usual response is, people always say, I've tried everything and nothing works, but that's not true. You've tried everything you've been exposed to once or twice. And whenever that did not yield immediate instant gratification results, you got frustrated and you quit and you tried something else that was shinier in hopes that it would actually work. But that's not how marketing works. We have to stay consistent. We can't just keep chasing, a carrot dangling in front of us. We need to actually be where we are, sit where we are and stay consistent, record all the episodes we can when we have time, reach out to as many people as we can and sow as many seeds as possible during the time that we do have, because it's nothing in business is instant gratification. And it sure is does not come easy.
It's true.
It's not for the faint of heart.
I mean, they say in marketing, a marketing rule that they say is you have to reach a person 7 times before they remember who you are, your business, right? So that might mean sending a couple emails, sending a few social media marketing blasts out there.
Yes.
Before you get results, you're right. It's not like a pill to take and it disappears.
So I actually just sent an email out to my clients a couple days ago, and I have a few thousand people on my client list in Louisiana, where I'm from. And I basically said, hey, y'all, I'm moving to Texas. Y'all have 3 weeks to book an appointment while I'm in town. And I got crickets and I got 2 email responses. One of them was unsubscribe me. Ugh. The other one was, oh, I hate to see you go. Would you mind giving me a referral? And I looked up this client and they had never gotten a service with me. And I was like, what the? Usually whenever I announce I'm going on vacation, I have waiting lists for miles, which is the quickest way to get people on your table, by the way. Just say you're going on vacation and bam, people will book immediately. But I had to not blame myself in my email system and be like, you know what? I don't want to reach everybody. I have 3 weeks. I only want a handful of clients. So I literally just sent them a text message and said, hey, this is what's up. And they all booked with me. So if something doesn't work, it's not that your message is wrong. It's not that you're a loser. It's not that your system is broken. It's that we're so incredibly overwhelmed all the time. And you said it takes an average of 7 times. I wonder if that's before or after TikTok, because for attention span, if we don't catch somebody's attention within 2 milliseconds, we're going to lose it. We're going to scroll off to the next thing. So yeah, it is very frustrating, but marketing's a whole other podcast episode we could totally record on. I could talk hours and hours about that.
It's true. Now, I want to invite the listeners to follow Rebecca on social and the Badass Bodyworkers group if you're not in it already. It's a really active group with some great information. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, it not only is it an active online group, but we meet each other in real life. One of my values that I live by is community. And then I have integrity, adventure, and creativity and freedom. But community is such a core pillar in my life. And I do like to encourage people as well that if you think that you're alone, and if you think that there's no community out there for you, you're not the only one thinking it. And sometimes you have to be the person to create that community, and then your people will come. And, I started Badass Bodyworkers, I think 6.5, 7 years ago. And it's also been a roller coaster of a ride because I pour so much of my knowledge and wisdom, and everybody else does too, into it. And it's just been amazing watching everybody blossom and seeing people message me who say, I quit my job at Massage Envy a year ago and started my own business, and now I'm making 95 grand a year. And I have never even seen them post in the group before. And I'm like, whoa, imagine if everyone shared their stories and we could all just continue to encourage each other. So it really is a safe space. And it's fun awesome.
I got goosebumps.
Awesome.
I got goosebumps all over when you said that to me, because That's such an amazing story. I'm so glad to hear that. You know, what you did to create that group created, I mean, imagine how many people's lives you've changed just by creating and being a part of that Facebook group. I'm just so thankful that you're a part of the industry and a part of my life and a part of massage in general, because I think you've really done a lot to help us all kind of come together and create that community of people. And I just want to give you a big hug. Yeah, we're giving each other virtual hugs right now. Rebecca, is there anything else you want to add? Anything that we can do to help you?
Just join the Facebook group and let's all help each other, and sometimes whenever you feel like throwing in the towel and somebody sends you a message and you're like, holy like I have the capacity to create a positive ripple effect on the world. You have to follow that itch. So if there's somebody that has helped you out there, please, God, send them a text message or an email or call them and say, I'm thinking of you and I just wanted to show my appreciation, because you never know what that one message can do to keep somebody from throwing in the towel and giving up on their dreams. So join the Facebook group and then also tell somebody how much that they helped you out, because it could mean the world to them and really could.
Awesome. You have been such a pleasure to talk to today.